Hey guys, it's James. We are giving you an update on our Hoarder house. So we've made lots of progress over the last 6 weeks. If you remember, when we bought this property, it was completely dilapidated, filled with garbage. So since then, we've gotten the property trashed out, removed everything out of this property. In addition to, we got our permits and we've installed our exterior vinyl windows. We've got our siding on the front of the house. We were able to reduce our siding bill by 75% by just doing the front and still fixing the curb appeal. All of our exterior doors are in, and we're going through our rough-ins right now in the project. So as we're going through, our plumbers have already completed their scope of work, the electricians are starting next, and then we're gonna walk through the project and let you know where we're at now and when we plan on getting this done. Remember, as we go through a transitioning market right now, speed is of an essence. So we're trying to keep this thing moving forward and making sure bodies are working the whole time. So let's take a look inside and see where we're at. So as you can see, it looks substantially different than it did before. When we bought it, it was stacked full of garbage, it was nasty everywhere, and we're getting through all of our rough-ins right now. So what we did is we actually deleted the window because it affected our overall kitchen layout. We wanted the natural light to come in, but it wasn't worth it because it was throwing off all of our layouts. We couldn't figure out where to get our fridge or where to make the sink and range work. So we had to delete that. We moved our plumbing location here. As you can see, the plumbing stack's been replaced, all the plumbing's been redone. And then the kitchen cabinets and the plans were all finalized this week. The most important thing that we've done during this section to increase the value or to increase the flow of the property is we installed our slider. If you remember before, it came in, it was packed full of garbage, but that was only half the problem. The other problem is we had no flow out to the backyard. That's a big deal breaker for a lot of buyers. And so we had to cut in the concrete, install our slider through here. If you're ever gonna cut into concrete, the things and steps you wanna take is you wanna make sure that you're getting engineering, you're having them look at it, make sure it works in size wells, and then install it. So we had an engineer check it out, the headers were all good, and we could install. So since then, we've gotten our windows installed, our front doors installed, the slab's in good shape, and then we ended up deleting our heater that was in. It didn't have a heat source throughout the whole property. We're adding cadet heaters to the whole thing because it doesn't really warrant, or none of the comparables have a furnace. We're going with cadets, but we had to get a space for a washer dryer. So we deleted the big heater that was here, and our stacked set of washer dryers going right in here. One thing I'm looking at is I gotta make sure it's the right size. 24, my feet are luckily 12 inches long. Shit, this is tight. I need to check this with my contractor, because we need a minimum of 28 inches. So that's gonna be right on the cusp. We might have it. Good news is we have a little bit of room to cheat right here. So those are things to check. But as I'm coming through and I'm doing my walkthrough, I just wanna make sure all the flow works, right? Is the kitchen gonna work? We looked at the plan, it's gonna work fine. This is the things I wanna catch now. If he drywalls this all in and we gotta move it all over, that's a pain in the ass. So just by checking this and coming out, this could save me thousands of dollars or time later down the road. So as we come through here, again, we didn't have to do a lot of reconfiguring because it's a very small house. It's around 800 square feet, not that big. It was a 2-bed, 1-bath, but we did need to update the mechanicals. So as you can see, all the plumbing's been replaced. We now have it set for a new tub that's going in right here. And then what we've had to do here is, because we added that washer dryer, which is essential for the resale, we had to trunch in our new plumbing lines throughout this section here. Those are costs that you always want to pay attention to as you're going through a project because it's extra labor cost. This may look expensive, but if you do it in the right way, you can save thousands of dollars. So instead of having our plumber chip this out, which costs us roughly $100 an hour, we had our labor guys come in at 30 bucks an hour, and they did all the demo work, and it saved tons of money against the bottom line. So as you're doing things, you always want to be kind of looking at what's the next step to get things done. So our electrician started working this week. We have our new panel snapped in here. All the permits have been pulled. So the panel's in, and they're rewiring the rest of the house and adding in the cadet heaters. So one issue that you have with brick houses is we had brick all the way to here. There's no insulation through this section in here, and there's also no place to put in electrical. As you can see, this is all conduit that was ran through. They had to do it above because they didn't have it in the wall space. So we had to frame this all in to get our cadet heaters and our outlets and electrical ran through here. So those are things to think about when you're budgeting. You don't just budget for a full rewire because we had to frame this all in. So as you're looking at unfinished basements or other houses that are all brick and they don't have those veneer or those 2x4 walls, you need to account for that in the cost, and that was included in our framing costs. So as we come through here, oh, this is the weird doll room. The doll room looks a lot better. It's actually the cleanest room. It's been all framed in and we're looking good. So over the last 6 weeks, what have we completed? We've done the roof, the windows, the siding on the front, all the trash out, the yard demo. We've roughed in all the plumbing, electrical starting now. Once electrical's done, we're gonna go through our inspections. We're gonna insulate the area into mud tape and texture, and our goal is to have this project done in the next 7 weeks. The reason we think we can get it all done is a small house, they can keep things moving, and it's back to market. As the market transitions, speed is of the essence. You wanna catch that market timing. So we're really pushing to get this done before rates keep going up. All right guys, so we're about 6 weeks into the project. We're hoping to have this wrapped up in another 4 to 6 weeks, so we're halfway through. Stay tuned and tune in to ProjectRE on YouTube for more updates on our hoarder house and what the end result is.